So last night on my way in on the plane, I talked to a few, two or three different Bulgarian gentlemen just on my last flight from Istanbul to Sofia. And they were really friendly guys and helpful. And the one gentleman, I asked him how to get from the airport here safely. And he said the best company to use is called OK Taxi. If you use any other company, he said it's not a good idea, and he said they'll actually kill you if you don't speak Bulgarian. I don't think that's true. He's probably exaggerating, but I didn't want to run into that problem. So when I got out into the airport, got through immigration, we went, I walked out and I could see where all the people were going out the one door and could see a whole bunch of taxis outside that door. So walked out the door, and they were all OK taxis. So I thought, okay, good, I'm in the right spot. Excuse the pun. So I walk out, and the few gentlemen are already holding signs for people. So I know they were already going to be used, but then there was another gentleman just standing behind them with the OK Taxi lanyard around his neck, and he spoke English. So I asked him if he knew where my hotel was, and he did. So then I asked him what the price would be, and he said, no problem, I'll run my meter. And this is every time I've been in Thailand, let's say, as long as the taxi is willing to use their meter, you're good, because the meters all run about the same rate, and I think they're government regulated in Thailand to an extent. But here, it's a little bit different. I guess some of these guys aren't legit, and I didn't know that. So anyways, long story short, he drives me about 10-15 minutes into the core. We stop, and he lets me out, or we stop in the middle of the street, and he's about to let me out, and I ask him how much, and he says 45 Bulgarian lev, which is it's about 1.25 our money. So he was asking me basically for about $35 for the ride Canadian, which is outrageous. On the plane, the guy said I should maybe be paying $10 or $15. But I at this point, the guy stopped in the middle of the road. I'm super tired. I'm a little bit nauseous from all the flying. I haven't eaten anything. So I just paid him the money and thanked him and got out and walked into my hotel, where I was greeted by reception. Once I talked to the reception guy and asked him about how much I should be paying, he said, yeah, it's about $10 to $15. So I paid somewhere between quadruple and triple for my cab ride. Lesson I learned was, no matter what you do, sometimes you're just going to get taken advantage of. There's really nothing you can do about it. But I also learned that sometimes you just, have to pay a little extra. And in this city, now I know you should ask for the fare up front. At least demand that he give you a rough number, so you have something to go off of. So if his meter says something outrageous, then you know you have a problem, and maybe you can talk to the police or another Bulgarian person, and they can help you out. But the other thing that kind of was a bit alarming is he took me quite a distance back from where the other OK taxis were parked on the street. His car did have OK Taxi logos and everything, but he literally showed me the mileage, and it has 750,000 miles on the car. So I was pretty impressed. That's one of the highest mileages I've ever seen in person, but also I guess should have maybe tipped me off that, I don't know, maybe he was scammy. Anyways, that was my first experience last night here. Had a good sleep, and just been relaxing a little bit today. Went for a bit of a walk and got some food earlier. They have lovely pizza and gyros and all kinds of really good food in Bulgaria, so high recommendation on that. And it's pretty cheap so far, as long as, of course, you're not getting scammed. I also was told to watch out for pickpockets, which is fairly common anywhere you go, especially in Eastern Europe and those types of countries. So I do carry, I do take precautions that way. But anyways, I just wanted to share my story of my first taxi ride in Bulgaria.